Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Stub Reviews, and today I'm giving you a very special video courtesy of Stephen Handby, who went ahead and requested this video to be made. I want to let you guys know that if you guys ever comment about something, we will respond to you. And if you guys want us to make a video about something, we'll make sure we get that video out for you. So that being said, today I'm going to go ahead and give you a video about Rocky V. Is it bad or is it misunderstood? So I actually have a note card for today's video because I have quite a few points that I want to go ahead and address and say clearly, so please forgive me if I look down at these note cards. This is just to give you guys a very clear and concise review to the best of my ability. So Rocky V takes place immediately after Rocky IV. Rocky has just defeated Ivan Drago to avenge Apollo Creed because Ivan Drago killed him in a match. And Rocky realizes that he's really shooken by this fight, like neurologically. He can't keep his hands from shaking, he's really worried about his health. And when he comes back to America, he announces that, hey guys, I might be retiring, and he goes in to check out his injuries. Turns out his injuries are pretty serious and his wife doesn't want him fighting again. And he's like, oh man, it's a really big hit to his confidence. And then he kind of feels that he can maybe relive some of the glory and keep his glory going through a protege known as Tommy Gunn, who's kind of like a nobody knows who he is. He came from somewhere in the Midwest. It looks like a big stocky guy, wants to prove to Rocky that he has something to offer the boxing world. So the two pair together, and then some really interesting things happen from there. Now Rocky V is definitely the least well received as a whole of all the Rocky films. It's not that this movie doesn't have a lot of action, or it's not that it's boring, but Rocky Balboa doesn't do a whole lot besides manage in this movie, and I think that's what bothered people. I think if people walk into this movie with an open mind and realize that this isn't just another Rocky movie, but rather a movie that focuses on its characters, and it does have some cheesy moments, but it mainly focuses on Rocky's characters and his inner conflict with his past, and how Tommy Gunn is kind of a reflection of who he was, and for the first time he kind of has to face that. He can't be the Rocky that he wants to be anymore. His health is at risk. Every time he gets hit in the head, he might die. You never know now. It gives another layer to that character that's never been seen in the series before. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the 6 things that I think are really important to discuss about this movie, and finally give my final thoughts at the end. So, number 1, Stallone's great. He's always been great in these movies. He just plays a really good guy who's been down his luck, and he really just brought himself up in the boxing world, and he is now respected. And Stallone just does a great job portraying this character. He has a lot of emotional heart-to-heart moments in this movie that, personally, I think are some of the best in the franchise. And certain just character moments, whether he's talking with his son, talking with his wife. There's a great scene about a little more than halfway through this movie where him and his wife are yelling in the street, and it feels so sincere. And you can tell that Stallone is just giving it his all, and I love to see that kind of heart in this film. The next thing is that Rocky's character is in turmoil, like I mentioned earlier, and it's just really cool to see this character and how conflicted he is with himself, because he really wants to box, but he knows that he can't anymore, and he's doing it because he loves his wife Adrian and his son, because he knows deep down if he gets in that ring again, he may never walk out of it. And that's just a new thing that's been brought into this franchise, and just a new level of danger that wasn't quite there before. And another thing that this new turmoil kind of brings about is that it brings parallels from the original Rocky. Now he is in the position of the teacher, and he's trying to help a person that's down on his luck. And just to kind of see the roles switch and Rocky adjusting to this new lifestyle of being a manager was just a really intriguing topic for the film. The third thing I want to go ahead and jump into, and this kind of relates to the second topic about Rocky's character being in turmoil, is that Tommy Gunn, written as a character, is a reflection of Rocky's past. He is Rocky in his supreme prime when he's just coming up, and Rocky kind of gets to live through Tommy Gunn's successes as his mentor. And it's really cool to see that. And however, where Rocky Balboa was kind of always a relatively modest person that just kind of picked himself up by his own bootstraps, Tommy Gunn comes from the same situation, but he has a really bad attitude. He's he feels very entitled in the sense that he deserves to have a fighting chance at everything, that he earns his right to be in the ring, and he'll take on anyone, anywhere, and he lets his emotions get the best of him. And it's really cool just to see Rocky and Tommy kind of go back and forth with each other and have banter and talk about certain things about life, and how Rocky's telling him, especially in terms of a big championship fight, that he has to wait. He needs to build more experience and wait for someone that really matters. Alright guys, so those are the things that I really did enjoy about Rocky V. Now here's some of the things that I didn't like about Rocky V. The main thing is that the main villain is way too corny. In the film, Rocky is a manager, and once his new guy starts getting, once Tommy Gunn starts getting a lot of success, another manager tries to sweep Tommy from underneath him, and he's just really cheesy. He just feels like that little devil on your shoulder who's like, oh, you need to do it for the money all the time. This is a dirty business. I'm the guy who's going to get through this dirty business. So the final point I want to get into this movie, and I think this is the main reason that a lot of critics panned Rocky V upon its release, is that it has some really cheesy moments. Mainly with a certain side story in the film where Rocky's son has to fight some Philadelphia bullies, and it just feels really cheesy and hammy, and it's like, oh, look Dad, I'm going ahead and I'm being a man, I'm fighting these kids, but Stallone's son just didn't really give all that convincing of a performance, in my opinion. I also thought that some of the moments in the film just felt a little bit cheesy in terms of major character moments where it was supposed to be really dramatic, and a lot of those scenes did work, but there were some scenes that just fell flat, especially in just some of the dialogue. And Stallone, I love him in this movie, but he couldn't even make some of this dialogue work, where it's just like, but son, da-da-da, we used to love Christmas, you used to love being with me and your mother and da-da-da. So overall, Rocky V was a flawed yet suitable conclusion to an iconic franchise. It had really good character moments. The action, which I didn't touch upon in the review, was really good. It's expected from a Rocky film. Even though some of the parts of the film were really, really cheesy and totally inconsistent with the whole, overall, I really enjoyed it, which is why I'm going to go ahead and give Rocky V a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So guys, how'd you like this little analysis video, a little review where I just kind of talked about my thoughts about Rocky V? If you guys want more reviews like that about older films, please let us know in the comments. We read them all the time, so the sooner you put your request in the comments, the sooner that video will be up. Anyways, I'm Jonathan from Stub Reviews. Have an excellent day.